Hey, Algebra kids, this is Dr. Callahan with Week 12 Friday. I hope you guys had a wonderful week. Hopefully you guys had a good day yesterday with the full distance learning. Thank you all for checking in with me through the YouTube channel. I went ahead and marked you guys present and make sure you guys are watching the video. So pause the video and answer the following 3 questions. All right, so just to put things into perspective, this week is week 12. Next week is week 13, and the finals week is on week 18. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at today's stuff. Now, just to guys have a quick little review on the items here. These are the 3 different types of solutions when you're dealing with systems of equations. So for the first example, if you look at this, where does a 2-line crisscross? Well, it's right here and it looks like it's at 2, 1. So that has one solution. Now, if you have a scenario like this one where the 2 lines are straight like railroad tracks and they never cross, then there is no solution. Then there's no solution. And then if you take a look at the third example, where one of the line and the second line are both literally on top of each other, then every single point is an answer, and it is many solution. So go ahead and read the wordings because you have this on your common district final. And then last time when I saw you guys, we learned how to graph lines and shade regions where it's like colors are overlapping each other. Today, I'm going to continue on for that. And so with that said, let's just go ahead and get started. This is the breakdown of today's stuff. We're going to go ahead and translation of word problems from solving systems equation to solving systems with inequality. So go ahead and turn to this page on week 12 Friday. You should have this in front of you. Last year, I was part of a cheeseburger contest and I went second place and lost by literally 3 chews, which I think I need a recount for that one. But anyways, there's actually a burger that is the best burger. It's 3.5 kilogram Greek burger challenge in Athens, and this is what it looks like. I thought I'd share that with you. So happy Friday. All right, since we're talking about burgers, let's go ahead and take a look at this question here. All right, so you're very hungry and you're going to a fast food restaurant. You have exactly $15.02. You love big burgers and cheeseburgers. No, difference or preference. Based on your past experience, you know that you can only eat 7 sandwiches. Big burgers cost $3.70. Cheeseburger costs 98 cents. So how many big burgers and how many cheeseburgers can you buy and eat? You can't eat more than 7 without probably vomiting, and you only have $15.02. So how can you maximize the number of burgers that you can eat, but also be cost effective and not exceed $15.02? So go ahead and read the question, highlight the important numbers. So hopefully you highlighted these information the same as I did. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write an equation or system of equation for this problem. We're going to have B represent the number of big burgers and C represent the number of cheeseburger in the buy. So B plus C has to be either equal or smaller than 7. And if you couldn't tell, I'm actually trying to do this while I'm holding on my daughter, and she is just dropping things left and right. Then my second equation involves cost. So I'm going to have 3.7 B, which is $3.70 for big burgers plus 0.98 C, and that has to be less than or equal to $15.02 because that's all I have. So now what we're going to do is we are going to solve this, okay? So we can do this one of several ways. We can either graph this or we can go ahead and solve for this. If we were to go ahead and graph for this, we would have to go ahead and solve for C or solve for B. And one of them will be equal to y equals mx plus b. Okay, so if we're going to go ahead and solve for C, let's just say that C is going to be y. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and solve for C, which is going to be the same thing as y. So in this case, the first equation, you're going to have C is less than or equal to negative b plus 7. So your b in this case is 7. That's where you start. And your slope is a negative 1 over 1. Now, on the other hand, if you look at the second equation, if I were to go ahead and solve for C, I would have 0.98C is less than or equal to negative 3.7b plus 1502. Divide both sides by 0.98. And then I'll have C is less than or equal to negative 3.7 over 0.98b plus whatever 15.07 divided by 0.98 is equal to. And that actually is going to be equal to, I'll grab my calculator. 15.07 divided by 0.98 is going to be 15.38. So in this case, your B is going to be 15.38. And no, Emma, stop it. I can't hold you while you're trying to hold this. And your M is going to be negative 3.7 over 0.98. I'm sorry, honey bunny. Here you go, you can have that. She's over here trying to grab my stylus pen, and I'm like, no. Okay, so then looking at this right here, let's go ahead and try to graph this, shall we? Okay, sorry about that. So let's go ahead and graph this. The first one, I'm gonna start at 7. So 7 is right here. My slope is negative 1 over 1. So I'm gonna go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. And as I look at this, it is a solid line. And if you look at it, you see how it's not eating the letter Y and it's eating the letter X. So you shade below the line. Okay. Now let's go ahead and grab the second line. The second line is going to be starting at 15.3. So that is all the way up 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So like right here somewhere. And then your slope is a negative 3.8 over 1. So you can go down 3, about 4. Go over to the right one. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. 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 And it's also a solid line. If you look at it, you're also going to shade below. So let's go ahead and shade that. All right. So do you see where the purple and the blue lines overlap right here in this region? So generally what that means is any answer that is within this orange region or this overlapped region will be an answer that you can purchase with the $15.02 and it will not exceed the 7 burgers. Like, so for example, you can go ahead and use this part right here, which is 2, 4. So you could eat 2 big burgers and 4 cheeseburger and still not break the bank of $15.02 and not have to vomit because you exceeded 7 burgers because 2 plus 4 is only 6. Or you can do this one, which is 3, 1, and you still will not break the bank with 3 big burgers and then 1 cheeseburger. And any of these answers here would work. All right, so now let's go ahead and fill out the chart. Okay, so remember you can eat 7 or less, but not more than 7. So what are the different possibilities? Well, I can go ahead and eat 0 big burgers and 1 cheeseburger, 0 big burgers and 2 cheeseburger, and I can go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you look at it, if I add it together, it does not pass 7, so I'm good to go. If I decide to eat 1 big burger, I could eat 0 cheeseburger, 1 big burger, 1 cheeseburger, 1 big burger, 2, and keep going. And then 2 big burgers and 0, 2, and 1. And just take a moment, pause the video, and fill out this chart. Are your possibilities similar to what I have? And if you look at all of these, the ones I've highlighted, 7 is the sum, 7 is the total, 7, 7. I never surpass 7. So notice how that system of inequalities, you can have many different possible answers and many different possible solutions. All right, we're gonna kind of jump on over to the right side. Same page though. All right, so then let's go ahead and take a look at this, okay? We're gonna go ahead and just simply graph the inequalities for 2 equations that are set up in standard equation. So the first one right here, we're gonna solve for y for each inequality. I'm gonna move the 2 over to the right side. So then I will have a negative y is greater than negative 2x minus 3. Then I see the negative right here, and I don't want to have a negative y, I want a positive. So you have to switch the inequality. Do you see how it's switched? Because you're trying to get rid of a negative. That becomes a positive 2x and then a positive 3. So when I go ahead and graph this, my b starts at 3. My slope is a 2 over 1, which means I'm going to go up 2 over to the right 1. Up 2 over to the right 1, up 2 over to the right 1, up 2 over to the right 1. If I run out of space, I can go down 2 over to the left 1, down 2, left 1, down 2, left 1. And if you look at this is a dotted line. And because it's not eating the y, you shade below. So I'm going to go ahead and shade this below. Like that. All right, let's go ahead and graph the second equation then. The second equation, again, you're going to move the x over to the right side. Y is greater or equal to negative 4x plus 5. You're going to start off at 5, and then your slope is a negative 4 over 1, which means you go down 4 over to the right 1. So starting at 5, down 1, 2, 3, 4 over to the right 1, down 1, 2, 3, 4 over to the right 1, running out of space, up 1, 2, 3, 4 over to the left 1. And if you look at this, it is a solid line. And because it's eating the letter Y, you're not going to shade below, you're going to shade above your line. So solid line. And let's shade above. Do you see the area where the red and the blue lines crisscross and kind of overlap each other, like right here to right here? Well, you want to color this using a different marker, and this area is your answer. Any point in this region is a possible answer for your question. So your answer can be this part right here, which is a 3, 5, or it could be this part right here, which is a 6, 1. Any of those answers will work for this. And if you don't believe me, we can actually pick a point and test this. So I picked 6, 1, and so we can actually plug this in. So x equals 6, y equals 1. So 2 times 6 minus 1 should be greater than -3. 12 minus 1 is it greater than -3? Yeah, because 11 is bigger than -3. Similarly, make sure you test the second equation as well. 4 times 6 plus 1 is greater or equal to 5. So 24 plus 1 is greater or equal to 5. And is it? Yep, it is. 25 is greater or equal to 5. So true and true. And I know that my answer is correct. All right, so with that said, I'm gonna have you guys try this one. So pause the video, solve for y, and then graph and shade. Did yours look similar to mine? So do you see how you have two parallel lines like railroad tracks, but then the shading has absolutely no overlap? Yeah, so in this case, you have no solution because there's no shading of overlaps between the two. You have all the answers either shaded above this purple line or all of the answers shaded below this blue line. So your answer is no solution for this one. Go ahead and try this one as well. It's on the back of the next page. And let's take a look at this one here. Okay, so x is less than 1. So then that means at x equals to 1, which is right here, I'm going to have a dotted line. And because it's less than 1, you're going to shade the left side of this line. Now let's take a look at the next equation. X is greater than -2, so at -2, you're going to have a solid line like this. And then because it is also less than -2, you're going to be shading the left side of the solid line. Now, do you see where the purple and the red crisscross? So right behind this red line, so any of the answers past this red line is sufficient and it works. So any of this yellow area will be your answer. All right, you guys, now I want you guys to take a look over here. Look at the 3 different types of answers and then write down, is it one solution, no solution, or infinitely many solution? Go ahead and check your answers with mine. All right, so now what I want you to do is go ahead and practice with this algebra puzzle. It says, what did the toothless old termite say when he entered the tavern? So you're going to go ahead and solve for y, graph both lines, and then make sure you shade and identify where the two shades overlap. All right, you guys, if you are done with that, make sure you spend the rest of the time completing this. Your exit ticket today is going to be the following. What were you not a big fan of today and why? And what were you a big fan of today? So you can write this anywhere on your white guided notes. And if you are ready to check your answer should be, is the bartender here? And your answer should look something like this. So make sure you shaded your question similar to how I shaded my question, and the two areas are overlapped. All right, you guys, I will see you guys on Friday. As always, stay safe and healthy and have a wonderful day. Take care.